Hello and welcome to Filmfolket's podcast. We that speaks today is Göran,
Johannes,
Daniel.
Today's movie is The Mummy from 1999.
3,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, Pharaoh Seti's high priest Imhotep falls in love with the pharaoh's mistress, Ankh-Sunamun. Together they murder the divine pharaoh, and Imhotep is sentenced to the ritual of Homdai, buried to suffer eternally in undeath. Much later, in 1923, Egypt is under British rule, and adventurers seeking treasure make their way to the lost city of Hamenaptra, where Imhotep rests uneasy. Soon they must race to stop the wicked high priest from fully regenerating, resurrecting his beloved and ruling the world as its immortal evil pharaoh.
That is a good summary. It's an interesting take on the whole mummy genre and making this more as like a comedy. And even if some of the CGI effects maybe look a little bit silly, but I think it has been entertaining to see it, both the dark and the comedy of this version.
Yes, it's a very impressive effect for 99, especially with the character of Imhotep as this walking corpse. Is very cool, and I reacted specifically to this one scene where he faces Benny in a tomb with he's holding a torch and it lights up the body in a very interesting way. But like you say, it's a different take on the classic, the Universal Pictures, The Mummy. You think it'd be a remake of the old horror movie, but it's actually more an action-adventure movie in the style of Indiana Jones. It's really interesting. Steven Sommers, the director and writer, is very good at making these kinds of movies, and it really shows.
And I also like it that they haven't made the movie too gory. There is some bizarre scenes, but some scenes you see the character and then it gets dark and you hear the character scream. And I feel like it's better to show it that way, and your imagination will fill out the blanks instead of showing everything.
Yeah, these really unpleasant things with the scarabs that crawl inside people.
Yeah, those scenes make it crawl under the skin. But they're very cool too.
No pun intended.
Yeah, because I do kind of like how the bugs are animated. I mean, you can clearly see that it's animated, but I don't know. It looks cool. Disgusting, but cool.
Jerry Goldsmith is responsible for the music, and this is some of his finest work. Interestingly enough, he actually didn't like the movie. That's interesting.
He just take the paycheck and did the work.
Basically, I couldn't really find why he dislikes it, but it was filmed in Morocco due to the situation in Egypt at the time, and the scene on the Nile is actually shot in England using the Thames. It's good chemistry between the actors. They've found a really good cast of people who play off one another in a very compelling way. It's a really good flow to the movie, nicely edited, and well, it's an adventure movie. They make it exciting. It's very good.
Yeah, and you cannot help but love Brendan Fraser. He's such a great actor.
Yeah, he's plays like a Joker a little bit.
Yeah, he's lovable.
And also Benji that just follows whoever that can save him. And but he got his how should you say, he got punished in the end by greed.
His comeuppance, so to speak. Yeah. Kevin J. O'Connor is that actor. Oh yes, that's why I recognize that. I previously talked about watching Deep Rising, and he's in that movie too.
Mm.
I mean, I also liked how this mummy controls everything, especially when he had the dust play in the desert, when he was doing this whole face that was made out of dust, and Benji after Envy kissed the mummy just to save the others, and when Benny breaks down and cry, "Oh, I like this whole thing, and now it's ruined or something. Damn it!"
Yeah, he liked the sand trick, but also comments, "You bastard." He has this.
He really tries to suck up to.
Yeah, despite everything.
But that's his character. He's always sucking up to the one that he feels safe with. It gives him a free pass, so to speak.
I mean, I like the scene when he meets the mummy for the first time, and he uses all kind of religious symbols to save himself, and then he find the David star, and that was the thing that worked.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Begging on different languages to different religious gods and stuff. So, finally, this works.
Yeah, Imhotep recognizes the language of the slaves.
I'm just wondering what could have been done differently, and other thoughts.
As I've mentioned, it's interesting how they have basically recycled some lines in different languages. Imhotep's lines in ancient Egyptian aren't actually ancient Egyptian, and what he says is embellished in certain ways. It's being subtitled to mean more than what he says. So he says the same thing, but it's done differently, and the same goes for the Magi, Ardeth Bey. The things they say are similarly subtitled in ways that it definitely has used the same line at least thrice, but it's interpreted to mean different things.
Can't really think of anything.
I mean, I like, is her name Envy?
Evelyn Evie, yes.
I've said the wrong name. Anyway, I like her character. She's basically a bookworm when it comes to the old Egyptian style. And she basically knows all and everything about it. So her character is very funny. So it's good with what was his name?
O'Connor.
Him and her. It's like a good chemistry between those two. So that's one of the things that I like with this movie. So it really feels like an Indiana Jones movie, but in a different take.
Yes, Rachel Weisz's role is... she starts out as this bookish woman working at a library and in a museum, and grows into her own as an adventurer. I think that's a good angle. In this movie, she has a kind of a damsel in distress role near the end, but in the second movie, she's more active.
Yeah, because then she can fight too. Yeah, I really like the second movie. I think that's my favorite.
One of the first scene when we see her, then when she was gonna put all the books back, and then she falls with the letter, and all the shelves turn into like a domino effect. So it's a very funny scene.
I want to say that there was an accident on set when Brendan Fraser was being hanged in the prison. The noose basically strangled him and he passed out.
Yeah, I remember reading something that he got hurt quite a lot actually in the Mummy movies.
Yes, a lot of these physical roles lead to a lot of injuries, and some are worse than others. In this case, he was actually unconscious for a time.
But he asked to do his own stunts, so he really wanted to do it to make it look better. I think that's very cool that the actors can do their own stunts.
There was one thing I was thinking about, the native Egyptians. They would have done well to have an Egyptian in the cast as one of the main characters, to be part of the adventuring troupe. In this movie, they're mostly used as these poor disposable victims subject to Imhotep's magics and traps and stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There was also this implication that the Homdai curse, leaving Imhotep as this undead creature, he has to be locked up forever, because if he gets out, he's going to spread this curse and use his mastery of the sands and the great plagues and everything. The implication here would be that the later biblical plagues were actually caused by another curse of the Homdai rising to take vengeance, just as Imhotep did. It's something that's not really explored, but it's kind of implied.
I never thought about that. Interesting.
The movie is also kind of famously, maybe infamously, known as the bi awakening, with a lot of people, as a generational thing, discovering that they're bisexual because the main cast is full of these beautiful people.
Okay.
So, other ideas for next time?
What about the second movie?
Yes, I've considered that, because when I previously mentioned watching the movie, I thought that maybe we could watch the second and the Scorpion King spin-off. Would be an interesting exploration of styles.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. I wish you all goodbye for this time. And don't forget to watch, like, and subscribe. See you next time.
Yes, goodbye.
See ya.